I have some tomatoes and peppers to transplant out into the high tunnel. I also have a few other transplants to take care of outside the high tunnel, as well as some weeding to take care of. While I get some work done around the garden in the homestead, I thought I would share a few beginner tips that I have for anybody who is just starting out with homesteading in general. So come with me as I work in my garden. The first thing I ever tell anybody who's thinking about homesteading or is just starting out, I tell them to slow down and don't try doing it all at once. You want to start by planning before you start. For example, you don't want to rush into things like buying your chicks before your coop is built. What you do want to do is do all your research first. Figure out what kind of coop you need, how big of a coop you need for how many chickens you need, and always up a little bit for chicken math. And yes, it is a thing. Get your coop built, buy all your supplies, the brooder, your bedding, feed, everything. Then go and buy your chicks or order them if you're going to order them. And you also want to plan ahead, like observing your property for a full year to see where the sun's going to hit during each season, especially your growing season for garden placement, as well as any swampy areas or anything else that might come up on your property before you place any infrastructure. That would be your coop, your barn, your garden shed, and your garden. Now, one thing you can do before anything and before waiting and observing is to put a perimeter fence around your perimeter of your property if it doesn't already have one. And you can work on taking care of maintaining, fixing, and all of that if there is an existing fence. Go ahead and take care of that first year. But don't start building any buildings, coops, barns, anything until you've observed your whole property. If we take the time to observe for a full year, then we can find the best spots for everything. I recommend new homesteaders do is learn a new skill each year. Now, it doesn't need to be a big skill each year, like pigs one year and then the very next year you're doing a milk cow or beef cow, and then the next year you do sheep or goats. You don't have to do something big each year. Do what makes sense for your budget and your property. If you pick one thing each year to learn about, research, go to a friend or a neighbor who is doing that thing, go learn the skills, read up on the skills, do all the research. Then as your budget allows, then you start adding your infrastructure where it is needed. By only taking on one new thing per year, then you will go at a pace that is a lot more manageable. If you do one thing new each year and you've added something new every year for a couple of years or 3 years, and you're feeling like it's not enough, if they're two small things, do 2. I mean, sourdough and canning would be something you could do 2 in 1 year. Do all your research, get all of your stuff built up, then start. The third thing I recommend is to schedule your projects, schedule your chores, but especially your projects, the things that are once or twice a year. When you have chicken butchering, you don't want your chickens to get to the butchering stage at the same time that your harvest from the garden is coming in. You can't be in 2 places at once. So unless you've got a big family and everybody's capable of helping with both sides, and then you and your spouse, one is at each designated spot, then you might be able to pull it off. But if it's just one of you, and if you're new, especially when you're new, don't try doing that. Just get things scheduled so that things aren't landing at the same time. Another thing you want to invest in is high quality tools. And it's really hard to find high quality tools anymore. Most of the new tools that you buy in the stores right now are inferior material, so they'll bend and break real easy. Another really frustrating thing for us is they also are coming with shorter and shorter handles than the ones that our grandparents used. I have a pitchfork that was handed down, so it's an older, higher quality tool, and then I have a brand new pitchfork, and here's the difference in the handle length. So if you are a new homesteader, invest in high quality tools. Get older tools if you can. Hit the thrift stores and second-hand places anywhere you can. Another thing is to take care of them. Make sure that you're oiling your wooden handles regularly. Make sure you're cleaning them after your use. Also sharpening any tools that are needing to be sharp, like your loppers and your trimmers. Those are always things that you need to keep sharp. Otherwise, you're going to hurt your plant when you go to prune it. If you have a really high quality tool, it will hold up very well for a really long time. Generations, in fact, if it's a high quality tool, as long as you take care of it. If you have kids or are planning to have kids, then get your kids involved. Most likely, if you have kids, the reason you're homesteading is for them. So you want them to get involved in it as much as possible and as young as possible. Even my 2-year-old helps out around the homestead. Not a whole lot because she's 2, but she does help wherever she can, and she is my biggest helper. See, at 2, they want to help with everything, from clearing up and putting away dinner and
helping carry something. Even if she can't, you know, feed animals or really weed the garden unless I don't have anything else in that bed, it's going to be kind of hard to have her help with that. But she could help me carry the bucket of weeds to the chickens. But as your kids get older and more capable, they can do a lot more. My boys can help out. They feed the animals and water them. And at this point, I'm just supervising with animals. They take care of the majority of their care, the main daily feeding and watering of them. I make sure that they keep up on everything, that they're checking things, and then I'm always checking that the animals are still healthy and there's no concerns. They also help in the garden, weeding or planting their own plants. If you want a more in-depth look at how to homestead with kids, then I have a video coming up that you'll want to see. Keep an eye out for that video coming soon in the next couple of weeks. Once that video goes live, I will make sure to link that in the description below. I hope this was helpful and encouraging for you. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
If you liked today's video, hit that like button. And if you'd like to see more, please consider subscribing. I put out a new video every week about gardening and homemaking.